So this is the space I decided to use to build my sauna. It was a bit of a dead space. I did have my ice tub there back a few months ago, but I really wanted to utilize it and make sure it was fit for purpose. So here we go. Clean up first of all, get rid of all of the rubbish because there was quite a bit there, and I was storing some slabs. So took the slabs out and then took down the little wall before I started the build. Go on the side panels, the OSB with some damp proof membrane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover all of the sides and the roof in this membrane just to protect it even more due to the moisture that's going to be coming from inside of the sauna, but also prevent any rain from getting inside the sauna as well and protecting these boards. I don't think these boards are really, well, they're not weatherproof. I'm hoping that the plastic will do the job. Stay tuned for more. So here we are. It is stage 1 of my sauna. It's complete nearly. Just got a little bit more work to do. So what I had is this area all here. I used to have my cold tub, which is there. Supposed to be across here. I want to utilise this space for a sauna. It's going to be wood fired. So all I've actually got is like an inbuilt seat already here with the patio dropping down. So I built a seat around that. So this is going to be one seat here, and then coming up here like this kind of thing, but obviously a bit taller. There's going to be a second tier of seating coming across here and down, and then that'll give me enough room to sit in that area there. It's only about 2 meters, or probably less than 2 meters wide, as you can see. It's quite tall. So this is where the door's going to go. The door's going to go here. I'm going to have the wood fire in there with the chimney coming out, going straight up through there. I've got a little bit of a stabilising bar on there at the moment, but once I've done all of the sides, which I'm using, I think it's called OSB or OBS OSB board, and it's going to be covered in plastic as well to prevent any water travelling up the board, and they'll be cladded. The inside then will be insulated using probably some fiberglass sheet, maybe, or not fiberglass, whether it's rock wool. I think it's probably going to be cheaper than buying board. And I'm going to insulate that back wall as well. That'll all be cladded. The ceiling will have some roofs. The ceiling will have some lights in it. So I'm going to do 2 strips of 3, one there, and then some down in the floor as well, going out that way. So that's day 1 done, which was yesterday, and we'll start day 2 now. And I've got some OSB board coming, so it'll all be boarded today as well. Plus I've got to train twice. Oh, the joys. Take care, bye. So here we are, end of day 2, project sauna. So what have we done today? Roof is done. Actually, it's not done. The top is on, the wood is on, and then I put the membrane on top as well. And then what I'll be doing then is tiling it with some felt tiles similar to what was on my roof already, same kind of red. Started putting the panels on. with the membrane as well. So the membrane there, as we look at him, my little boy's bike. So what will happen now is my insulation will go on here, and then I will be boarding it with redwood timber. I've heard that's pretty good, plus it's what my local timber supplier supplies, so I'll be using that. One thing I do need to do is I do need to run a little piece of beading up the inside of here in line with this piece. So then when I do my boarding, it'll go flush to there. And the same on this piece here. This piece will be the same, sorry, this piece will be all okay. It's up against there, but I need to put a piece there. So I'll put a little piece of batten up there, across the top and down. It'll add to the strength of it. It's only that side I've got to do. This wall won't have to do, but I may have to come up with a way of holding the insulation against the wall. The ceiling's okay. That is where there's a join there, you can't see it. So now what I've done is put a panel on here and covered it. I've filled these holes in as well with some silicone, fill the gaps in as well, even though this side is always dry. And then put a door liner in, a bit of a liner, so the door will sit nice and square against it, which I'm going to make now. Clean up the floor as well, so I'm going to lay some timbers for the floor, the joists for the floor. You've already seen the seat, so things are moving on really quickly now. So maybe tomorrow, being Friday, I will get some insulation and insulate the walls, and then start cladding the walls before I do the seat. So I'll put some insulation in the seat as well, underneath the seat, and underneath by here and down, making sure that I don't get too close to the drainage system down there, even though I shouldn't have much water running through there. But yeah, all looking good. The sauna is nearly done. So we have it. That is the second tier of seats done. So what I'll do is I'll use some redwood strips all the way along. And it is, that's not going anywhere. Great solid seat. And then we'll have some on there as well. Cool. Okay, so the door frame is now on. The door will be like so. We'll open it inside. Give me plenty of room. So that'll shut there. What I've done is I've left a nice big gap all the way around for expansion purposes, and also it'll cause a bit of a vent in here as well, which will be good. And what I've had to do is I've had to bring the hinges this way. So we do have a hinge hole we should have used, but I didn't want to put the hinge on this piece of timber here. I want to put it on this piece here. So all this will be hidden with cladding, so you won't see any of this. But the door is not excessively heavy. 3 big hinges on there, T-bar hinges. So all good. We go on. Door now virtually done. Just need some cladding on it on the outside. So we have an opening in, and now currently doing the seating. So I've got about a bit of a gap through there, which will allow a little bit of breathable So I'm going to sand these after, once they're all in. So we've got a few little rough edges, but I'll just sand them back. Just fill it all the way along to there, and then I've got that one to do there, and then I've got the floor to do, and then I've got to insulate and do the cladding. So all looking good so far. And what I did here is I just brought that over because this is the cladding I'm using. So that will just sit up nice and flush, give it a real nice finish there, nice and flush there. Perfect. On we go. Side cladding done. It took me a little bit longer than I hoped, but I really wanted to get the attention to detail, certainly coming down here, keep that nice and tight, which it is. And then this is the door. So what I've done with the doors is I've come across with the, oh, I've cut my thumb as well, come across with the cladding, cut it for the door opening. Just a little handle on at the moment. Job done. I need to put something on here or cut this plastic back to expose the timber. And as you can see, it's all finished off nicely. It's all in line. Air vent is now screwed in. So what I'll do is I'll put a piece of feather edge board across here. Once I've felted it, so the felt will come down, it will go inside here, feather edge on there, just to finish it all off. Across here, and then there'll be a piece of feather edge going down there as well. And what I've actually done is I've made like a little recess up in there. So what I'll be doing, I'll be putting a spotlight there, one spotlight, a downlighter and two downlighters there. They are 10 watts. 30mm diameter, so I'll just drill them up, fit them in, and wire them through. I'll drill through here into the sauna, take them through the wall into the garage where they'll be powered. But it's all coming along quite nicely now. One other thing I did as well is just put a little piece of timber down on the floor there, which has got an angle on it, so when the water runs down the door, inevitably it'll be raining very, very shortly in Wales as usual. It'll run down the door and then off the lip and then down across into the channel and off. All this will need to be cleaned up. I'll probably put some sort of board down here as well, some description, maybe, not too sure yet. But stay tuned, we keep on going. The end of another day, we're nearly done. So here we go. 2 seats. Just got a few little tools left in here. So what is left to do now is cladding the ceiling, cladding the sides, cladding the front of the steps, and then this wall here, and then the back of the door. That all needs doing as well. So what I've done today is we've got the lights in for outside, and I've got the cable coming through as well for the lights. I'm going to have 2 lights here, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and I'm going to have another light there, 5, 6, another light there, 7 and 8. Don't know whether that might be too many lights, I'm not too sure, but we'll have a look. I can always put some on a different switch, which is what I probably will do, possibly. So I can either have the side lights on or the top lights. What we have got is the lights underneath there now. There's 3 lights underneath there, some downlighters, which should be finished off. And then all of the cladding is done here now, with the bottom vent, got a small vent down the bottom. Like I said earlier, I put a second membrane on just to protect it as best as I can, because I did get a little water leak in here yesterday, which I show up in that corner there where I drilled through today with the power cable. It's only 12 volts, so it's not going to affect it, but I'm hoping that I've cured it. The water's coming in by there somewhere, but yeah, all looking good, sturdy, loving it. Really loving it at the moment. The water will pass down through there, down through that channel. I'll clear that channel out now with the hose pipe, wash any of the shit away, and yeah, all good. Nearly done. Nearly time to use it. Well, as soon as I get a burner in here, which my dad's going to be making me hopefully soon. But stay tuned. Take care. Another day. Roof is done. Courtesy of my good friend John Jenkins. He's a handyman in the Cumbrath area, which he came along and felted my roof for me because I've never done it before. And as we come in now, all of the insulations up, as we know, started taping up the corners and the joins. That cladding is going up as we speak. Fantastic. Stick old stuff. It is 20 plus mil, maybe 25 mil nearly. Tongue and groove redwood. So this will look absolutely amazing when it gets a bit of moisture into it and starts darkening in certain areas because of the heat that goes into it. But we're coming along quite nicely. Got an air gap at the back, about 20 mil, maybe 25 mil. I'm going to have a small gap down the bottom as well, which will allow any air which is stuck in to actually come out. So I'm going to leave a little gap down the bottom. I've got to level the floor because the floor slopes down like this, down that way. So I need to bring the floor up, as you can see, it's got a big gap at the moment. But that will all be sorted. But this is all nice and level. Let's check my level whilst we're here and we're live. Boom. Bubble in the middle, looking good. Walls done, back wall done, now just on the ceiling. So what I'm going to do in the corners where we've got these little small gaps, I'm going to put some little quadrant down there. Remember on the top, there's a little gap up there, there's no gap there. I'll put it all the way around as well. Just give it a little bit of a better finish. Process looks real good. I just want to make sure that lots of the gaps like here are filled in. Nearly done now. So here we are, sauna by night. We have now got the external lights on, which you can see lighters, and I've shown you those before. So we'll just turn the other light on, and then we know. Light up the inside. All we've now got inside is 6 downlighters instead of 4. I was going to go for 4, but 4 just wasn't enough. It's cladded inside. The smell in here smells amazing. The redwood smells absolutely stunning. Seats, granted, are all covered in my clothes and tools, but they're done. And what else I added was some little downlighters down there. Just got to finish the floor off tomorrow. We come in then. We've then got the door. So the door's got a third cladded. So I've just got to finish that off tomorrow, and I've just got to sand it back, so I've got some marks in it from when I was hammering it. What's going to happen by here is I've cut 45-degree angles on the door panels here, so they're all in line, so that when you open the door, it doesn't open fully square, it stops about there, which is enough to get in and out, as you can see. But what I've looked to do here is I'm going to be putting a piece of timber in here like so. This timber is a bit thick, but I'm going to be using probably about 15mm timber, so the door will stay quite snug. And I'm going to put like a little lock up here, which will lock that wall to the door to keep it square when I'm using the sauna. I've got to cover this little piece up as well here, so I'm going to put a little strip in here. It's about 20mm, I think it is. A little 20mm strip just to cover up this bit of timber, and it'll open up and you won't see it. And then the flooring is just to do. I've got the flooring. We've got a bit of crap in here at the moment. A bit of wood debris and a few other bits and pieces. But that will be finished off tomorrow at the event. So what I've actually decided as well is I'm not going to be having a wood-fired stove in here. I'm actually going for electrical, and the reason why is I haven't got enough space. It's not until I actually built this that I realised that I haven't got enough space. So I'm having a 3kW sauna heater, which is going to sit on this back wall here. It's about 15 inches wide, which is probably from about by there to about by there. It'll sit up off the floor as well, and it's about 22 inches tall, so it's about from there to there, and sorry, from there to probably about by there. It's quite a slimline one, so the coals will go in there. I've got to use 15 kilos of coals, and it sits out about that much. So I'll just run the cable out, cover it in conduit, put it into my garage, bring it up through, connect it to the consumer unit on a 30 amp fuse with some silicone cable, 2.5mm cable. And then what I've done it up by here as well is where I've got the air vent, I'm going to make a little flap which will go over here and will open up. So when I'm in here, if I need to open the vent up, literally just unclip, open, allow the air in to flow in, close it, job done. But I've got a little bit of a movement on that. See there? Flush there, flush underneath there, and the bugger has moved there. Not happy with that. I'm going to have to sort that out. Something's moved there. Something's moved, but this one's flush. Flush all the way on. Chris is my van key, car keys here. Better go lock my van up. Anyway, nearly done. I know I keep on saying we're nearly done, but we're we're progressing really quickly. My heater comes on the 13th, I think, of October. Between the 13th and the 26th, I'm hoping the 13th will come. I thought I'll just put the strips down here as well, cover little gaps up here and there. I think what we've worked out is about 3 cubic square meters. No, that'll make sense. 3 cubic meters. It's not the biggest of saunas, but for me, on my own, it's going to be absolutely bliss and perfect. So here we go. Shut him up. Power off. Lights off. Shut him up and then down lighters off. Take care. Bye. Sunday the 5th of November and the sauna is complete. Just have a quick look on the outside. So what I've fitted here is just a little bit of a gate which stops any rubbish dropping down into the drain, which is just behind the ice tub. Nice and clean, ready to use following hard training sessions. One thing I have done recently is I put this little step in because I found that, excuse the dodgy slippers, I found that with the leaves blowing in the autumn, they'll drop all the way down and they possibly could go down underneath and then get clogged. So I'd have to rod it and rinse it out behind the back of the seat and in the sauna. So I've made this. It traps all of the leaves so you can just pick them up easy. It's the one with the sauna. Get the old hooks in so you can hang your towels on. What have I done recently? I've had to put some edging strip coming down here because I found that this gap here was too big and it was allowing a lot of the hot air out. So I put a strip all the way down and it's, as you can see, a little bit of a gap there now, but you've got to have it to allow for the lock. Put a little traffic excluder strip on the bottom as well. Again, stop any excessive heat leaving. We've seen the lights before, just knock them back on. And then the grand reveal now. Hope you like it all. So here we have it. Sauna is now complete. So the size is roughly around 4 cubic meters and it is finished with inch thick redwood tongue and groove on the panelling on the sides here. This is just redwood. I think it was about 20mm by 40mm, I think. All the rest of it is redwood. So we have 6 lights in the ceiling and then 2 down the bottom. I decided to use some plastic back carpet tiles. They're only cheap, just to stop any more too much air, I should say, coming up through the floor area. Because I found that as well when I was in here. I could feel a lot of cold air coming in. So that's plastic back. They don't get wet because if I I'm sat up on the top seat, any sweat will either drop down through and go out towards the drain, or drop down in this piece here and channel out through into the drain as well. All of the timber had been treated with Finnish sauna oil, which does take some time to dry in all fairness, but doesn't give it a colour, it just soaks in. These are natural colour wood. Got some towels. One top tip, if you do use brand new towels in a sauna, make sure you wash them first, because otherwise you'll get some black dye, but I don't worry about it. It'll soon either wear in or wear off. So bought some accessories, bought a temperature gauge, a humidity gauge, bought a little ladle, holding your water in, classic egg timer, sauna egg timer, 15 minutes, which is perfect. I made this little shelf just out of some redwood I had left over, some tongue and groove, just so I can keep my essential oils in, some albus oil, and then the old Bose speaker as well, so you can listen to either a podcast or some chill music, whatever takes your fancy. And then we'll come up into the sauna, and it's an Oceanic 3 kilowatt heater, which I got from Saunas Direct, maybe, I can't remember the name of the company, but excellent service. It was with me within 2 days. I'd had an issue where I'd actually bought one from Amazon and it never turned up, so I did get a full refund, but I had to wait 3 weeks for it to be sent to me from the US, and it never arrived, which was a bit of a pain in the backside. And then I've got this little ladle, I suppose, I don't know what you call it. So what you can do, instead of tipping cold water directly onto the coals and dropping the temperature of the heater, you can just put some water in there with some essential oil, then it'll boil it and send it up, the vapours up into the air to clear your nasal passages or your throat or whatever else. So, quick snapshot of the thickness of the doors, you can see really thick with the tongue and groove, and then it's lined. Magnetic lock up the top, it doesn't stop the door from opening, but one big mistake I made is the door opens inwards and it should have opened outwards. I think they say it's a bit of a safety issue, that if you did collapse and you did fall down there, somebody wouldn't be able to open up the door, but hopefully I won't collapse in here. And then we've got a little air vent at the top, air vent down the bottom, so the air should come up, and then when it gets too hot you can open this up and send the air out. So there we go. Yeah, so just wanted to touch on price. It's cost me roughly around, I'd probably say about £1,500 to build. Most expensive outlays quite clearly the timber, and I'd like to give a shout out to Evans Timbers in Cwmbran that supplied me with all my timber. Guys up there absolutely amazing. Rob the owner, we've got Simon that did all my timber cuts for me, so I wasn't buying any stuff, buying any timber was going to be wasted. Gary that drops it off for me, and Will, that is Rob's son, that I think he's going to put this on their website. So yeah, great shout out to them, some real good deals. So thanks guys for the timber supply, absolutely brilliant. So that was probably maybe 600 quid's worth of timber, just the inside maybe. And then you've got the pressure treated timbers I use for the outside, the 4x2s, and the OSB board, as well as the insulation as well. Heater was just under 300 quid I think, and this was a discontinued model because their newer model, their 3 kilowatt new model, is a slimline one. So they gave me this cheaper, which is perfect. I use 2.5mm silicone cable to wire it up. That's why they recommend use silicone cable in case it melts, but it's not getting excessively hot in here, so it should be all okay. And the power cable goes out through into my garage, and it's run off a separate fuse connected directly to my consumer unit. I've absolutely loved doing this little project, even though it's taken me a little bit longer than I hoped. It's been absolutely well worth it. I've used it now nearly every day since installation or since the completion of the project. Just getting in here 20 minutes after a real good hard training session, and I do feel the benefits of it. So I use that combined with my ice tub as well. Absolutely perfect. But I really hope that you've enjoyed my video. It's gone on a bit longer than I hoped, about 40 odd minutes I think. But anybody got any questions, anything you'd like to share, maybe your own projects, or if anybody got any questions about how it was built, what I used, etc., just please let me know. Okay, massive love. Please look after your friends, look after your family. Take care everybody. Project Sauna done.